What's up, guys? Kevin Cage back with another XRP update. If you want daily crypto news, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's dive right into this one. First off, this video is a must-see. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will be talking about Tether at the end and want to address a few interesting points for XRP. So first off, for any newcomers, I think you'll find this helpful. Fiatleak.com is a great website to look at to watch essentially, XRP transactions or payment flows being visualized. So super fun. I know it's exciting, at least when I first saw Fiat Leak a while back. I do not really use it that much, but it is great to see and visualize some transactions. So for example, you can pick any crypto asset. You can see the number traded in the past minute. Earlier it was, maybe like 5 minutes ago, it was at like 3.5 million. So I should have started filming then to see that high volume flowing. And I'm sure many people have seen the volume way, way higher in the past, but I believe I've seen it well over 10 or even 13 million during, times of price action when we get those 10 or 30% pumps. So just wanted to share that. And what we have to consider is this. So we have different currencies: the dollar, the Korean won, the yen, the rupee, the rupiah, all these currencies flowing, correct, between countries. And obviously the more XRP, the higher amount of XRP is flowing to that specific country. Well, we're aware that there are well over 100 fiat currencies today. Well, keep in mind, with combinations, it's not just the US dollar and the pound. It can be the US dollar and the real, the US dollar and the Canadian dollar and the Mexican peso. So there's thousands of combinations that can be created out of this. So please understand, corridors are not only, it's a bidirectional, it's a two-way street, okay? So you can also click on these specific ones if you're curious. So we can click on the Mexican peso just for an example. Let's see if it loads for me. And then you can kind of zoom in and, check some additional insight regarding this. So very cool. Keep in mind, Bitso is one of the main, I guess you could say, on-demand liquidity partners. And even in February last year, they sent $54 million via XRP, essentially in a single week, and went and increased the number from 3.5% in December of 2019 and went all the way up to 7% plus of the entire corridor between all money sent between the Mexican peso and the US dollar. That's XRP, guys. That is big, big money solving real problems for real customers. So it's not just, speculative Bitcoin or wallets moving transactions. It's going through actual financial institutions. So now we can see some Bitcoin, some Ethereum flows. Very cool. Okay. Even Bitcoin Cash. So I encourage you guys, if you're new, just play around with this. I know many people on this channel are well aware of it. Just wanted to start the video out talking about that. All right, so right here, guys, another XRP whale has been discovered. The owner is unknown and anonymous. You can see the wallet address. The amount of XRP is 28.6 million. Overall, at current value, just under 8 million US dollars. So you guys can check this out. Very, very cool. All in all, this is another person or financial institution, exchange, or entity that thinks XRP will continue to be used and be a lot more valuable in the future than what it is now. All right, so just sharing that. I don't, and as I was kind of ranting on Twitter earlier, what I was telling people is this, and I don't want anyone to take it the wrong way, but this is just how I feel. I don't care what the average Joe speculator or Bitcoin maxi or your mom thinks of XRP. I care about how well XRP solves existing problems versus any of the other competitors. RTGS Global, Utility Settlement Token, Libra, all of these so-called threats, or JP Morgan coin, JPM coin. And I care about how well XRP solves problems today for real customers, is in live production, helps SMEs, small medium enterprises, scale in massive ways. There's dozens of testimonials that you guys can look at, Neum, BTech, etc. And keep in mind, XRP is one of the very few options positioned to be a highly liquid bridge asset. And it's much more than just a highly liquid bridge asset. You have to understand, the main secret component of it is reducing and potentially eliminating altogether the need to pre-fund globally. This is not only revolutionary, can release trillions of dollars upon the economy and allow capital efficiency, but you have to understand, this is threatening some of the tier 1 banks and their revenue model and even the transaction banking space. It greatly threatens JP Morgan's cross-border monopoly by leveling the playing field, allowing mom and pop shops to have equal opportunity, democratizing finance. So now all these tier 1 banks will not be winning as much. So as I, repeat, probably regurgitate the last 7 days, JP Morgan, HSBC, and Citi process 80% of all payments that go internationally across borders. That's a monopoly, right? So they make a lot of fees based off of that archaic 50-year-old, 40-year-old dinosaur technology that frankly takes several days to get there. It's highly expensive, can go through 3 people or 14 middlemen, and they're all getting a slice of the pie. There's no guarantee that your payment will get there. There's no pre-validating the transaction, knowing the exact route that it will go. You kind of just throw a football and, cross your fingers and you hope it gets there in a week when you're doing an international wire transfer. I don't know about you, but I think that's very archaic, knowing that we can send emails or, text and send pictures to our friend in China instantaneously, but we can't do that with money. So now the opportunity lies in this friction for this system. So that is why I'm excited as a speculative investor in this asset class, because I already get XRP. I understand it. And there's no counterparty risk. You have the ability to issue IOUs if you'd like, even with the decentralized exchange on the XRP ledger, but there's none of that nonsense. Not using JP Morgan coin, then there's an issue of trust. Maybe, Bank of America wants to use their coin in their network. It's just a complete joke. You don't need that because you could just use the dollar. XRP solves literally the bridge asset problem, initially going after the 155 cross-border market, 155 trillion, excuse me. If it was $155, we'd be in trouble. All right, it is extremely efficient in terms of settlement, getting there with finality, etc. And now we have Flare networks coming to basically bridge, Ethereum and allow AVAX and Avalanche consensus to just make it an absolute killer application. I'm excited. Decide for yourselves. And I know I was ranting about this, but I laugh so hard when people, like friends that I haven't talked to in 5 years, they hit me up. They say, they know I'm big into crypto. And they go, hey, well, convince me or pitch me XRP. Why is it a game changer? I don't care. Why on earth am I going to waste 2 minutes of my time to tell you why you should buy XRP, sell it, or hold it? Go on my YouTube if you're interested in researching. Nobody helped me. Like, you buying a small bag of XRP or some crypto, it's not doing me a favor at all. You really think that's going to pump the price of a market capitalization that is billions of dollars plus? No, what's going to pump the price is long-term adoption at scale as utility grows, solving real problems, and then the flywheel effect takes place. So I personally see a massive opportunity in this asset class, the first asset class since the 1600s that will, keep in mind, process and transfer all other asset classes. As we know, the global stock market surpassed $100 trillion. Do I think that can absolutely be bridged and interoperate with the new crypto or digital economy of the future? Yes, without a single doubt. So that is my opinion. I see an opportunity. I'm going to be holding. I won't be scared out by a lawsuit. That's my personal choice. I have complete respect if you sell or do whatever is best for you, but I'm not going anywhere because I see an opportunity and I am excited. All right. So let's keep going here. Hopefully you don't mind that rant. So this is really cool right here. So Bank XRP sharing this. The SEC was reportedly warned that investors may lose billions due to enforcement actions against Ripple, legal experts claim. Is that sad or what? The SEC had 8 years to do something. We know that Ripple is meeting with them. Even per David Schwartz of Ripple in 2019, I shared the clip on Instagram and YouTube. He said, in 2019, we were meeting with them for the past 4 years on almost a weekly basis. And it was so weird, like he knew, and I'm not saying he does it all. All I'm saying is they can't come after us, 2 years later in 2021 and say that, and he'd be like, what are you talking about? We met with you regularly. You can see the public calendars, guys, and I know you guys know, but it's just absolutely, gut-wrenching to know that the SEC decided to do this and affect you and me and retail investors that have done their own research, and the other cryptos have not been smashed hard like XRP, arguably. So now, this is one gentleman I encourage all of you to follow. This is John E. Deaton. You can follow him at John E. Deaton, and then the number 1. He is a lawyer. I'm sure you guys have heard his commentary. I think a few YouTubers shared it, and it is amazing. I encourage you guys to support this gentleman. Very smart dude. He's not doing it for the money. He's doing it because it's right. And I cannot, I'm 100% behind this. So really quick, thank you for sharing. It makes me so mad that the financial media outlets have not reported on this matter, that it's affecting you and me. And I know there's a lot of people that are invested in XRP, so this is what makes me sick. And yes, it does upset me. And I know, like, I'm not losing faith in XRP, but I'm upset at the SEC. Absolutely. I'm not perfect. So I don't mean related to me, but how the individual investors are being screwed over. I guess only the billionaires and multi-billion corporations get the attention. Absolutely. And then right here, considering how significant digital assets have become, meaning just all crypto, I mean, the market cap has surpassed $1 trillion, guys. The SEC's case against XRP is arguably the most significant SEC action in 76 years. Bernie cost investors $18 billion. The SEC action costed $15 billion in market capitalization alone, plus the billions of dollars lost suppressing the price. So I just wanted to share that. I'm sure you guys are all thinking it. I'm thinking it as I'm making videos and researching, and I just cannot wait to get out of this mess. I don't think we're out of the woods quite yet, but I want to be sooner than later, believe me. All right. So just, I wanted you guys to retweet his tweet, not mine, and just, make it viral, because we are so much more powerful than we think, guys. Instead of us waiting for somebody to do all the work for us or a company, we can take power into our own hands, whether it's social media or just working together. I know we have a massive community here, and I think, there's a lot more good people than we realize. I think that they just might be quiet at times. All right. Next, so a recent job posting, Director of Engineering, RippleX. So we can see, obviously, RippleX, formerly called Spring, is Ripple's developer platform for payments. We design, build, and participate in open networks, democratizing the world of payments, helping money move as easily as the data does today through technology such as the XRP ledger. So this does not look like any team or company that is slowing down by any means. You guys can look at the open job positions, so you can just literally click view all jobs right there. This posting is for San Francisco location, but it just does not look like any type of sign that they're slowing down. Keep in mind, yes, they were valued at $10 billion in late 2018. Not a unicorn, that's a billion. They're a decacorn. So I'd imagine that they're going to keep going. And yes, so we're looking at where they're hiring. Remember, Brazil, key component for their on-demand liquidity strategy. Singapore, just a fintech hotbed for the world, already exploding. I might even just go there. I need to visit, honestly. I've been to Japan, but I need to get my butt over to Singapore and make sure I'm on my best behavior so I don't get locked up. But it looks like a beautiful city. I've heard the people are absolutely amazing, so I want to check it out. And just kind of look at all of this, all right? So this is what I'm considering. Now, here's the fun stuff. And this is not to scare anybody. This is just to talk about potential outcomes. And I hope this encourages you to, continue doing your own research, decide for yourselves. I may not be right, but I personally think that this is a scenario that could be playing out just based off of the research. So anybody that's been watching me for the past couple of years, you guys know that I've been talking about Tether USDT concerns artificially propping this market up heavily, even right after the March 2020 crash. Well, what's changed? And I don't want people thinking, why are you talking about Tether? Are you just mad because the SEC came after Ripple? No, I'm not trying to push this or, bring the attention to Tether because of that. If you guys have been, even since September, you've been hearing me talk about the Tether concern. All right. So it's way more than just the allegations. It's more, pumps in printing for Tether than ever before historically, even in 2020. And guess what? That printing aligned with the all-time high of price of Bitcoin. Same thing with QE and the Fed. But the lawsuit for Tether is over $1 trillion. $1 trillion. And now everyone is more distracted than ever by Bitcoin at all-time high or the Ripple SEC allegations, and they may miss even more immediate concerns or pressing dangers. So I just want to point this out. You guys decide for yourselves whether you think this is BS or not. I am going to tell you this. This is not financial advice, but please, if you're my friend or anybody, don't hold Tether. I get it if you transact in it briefly, but please do not hold $100,000 in Tether on the sidelines trying to buy dips. If I do that, it's in USD or maybe even, USDC briefly. It's never in Tether. Just be safe. Okay, also, I'm going to be providing several links at the top of this video description so you guys can continue doing your own research regarding this, a few tweets with some very interesting sources, and I would love for you guys to read it if you have the time. But first off, so we have Jacob Oracle, and I think, I do need to follow this guy. So right here, Tether has printed USDT every single day for several months, and the moment they have to hand over documents to the NYAG, they stop. Now remember, last week was just a technical deadline. It was not a decision deadline, so it's not like the market just crashes right right then, keep that in mind, Tether has not printed anything for almost a week now. Funny enough, that's when Bitcoin, stopped going over 40K. So we'll see. Will Tether keep printing and Bitcoin keeps pushing? Will Bitcoin finally just have some extra juice in the tank? You guys tell me. I'm just pointing this out. And I know Crypto Whale, this gentleman, a lot of people have been pointing this out for quite some time. I'm simply sharing. All right, so you can find this market cap USDT on tradingview.com and pay attention to these trends as well. So explains why Bitcoin's not going straight up. If this trend continues of Tether not printing anymore, Tether, I keep saying Tether, we will almost certainly see a major market correction. Once we correct, I hope it raises awareness to how they never printed for demand and displays how clear their market manipulation really is. All right, so we'll keep going. Now, HODL style, I'll link this in the top of the video description. Crypto crime cartel, the end is nigh for Tether. Just one thing I wanted to read right here. So for anybody that's used the exchange Bitfinex, I've traded on foreign exchange platforms that, I can shorten along crypto in the past with some margin trading, and I believe they have connected directly to Bitfinex's order books. Now, I've never used Bitfinex specifically, so it's always interesting that my foreign exchange accounts connected to them. So notice right here, for example, we know that Tether and Exchange Bitfinex are in fact owned and operated by the same people. The parent company is iFinex. This wasn't always the case. In fact, up until 2017, the companies insisted there was no relation between the two. When asked at one point if the two companies are the same, Bitfinex CEO Phil Potter denied it, saying the two companies merely bank at the same banks. Very interesting, guys. There's some terrifying facts or speculation in this as well. Keep in mind, the promise back in the day was Tether is 100% backed by the dollar, and now it's getting a little muddy. They're smart with their words, and yes, it is backed with crypto assets as well. So it makes you wonder. All right. Now, this gentleman's very smart, Ponder John. I always pay attention to what he's sharing, and he shared this interesting Medium article. And you guys, take it with a grain of salt, but I encourage you to read this nonetheless. So this was written by this Crypto Anonymous account. This is a one-time user account. I won't be responding to messages or inquiries on this platform. And there was just a few things I wanted to share, and just read this paragraph right here. Kraken, massive exchange as we know, is the biggest USD-backed crypto exchange on which Tether and US dollars trade freely against one another. Whenever someone sells Tether for USD on Kraken, Tether Limited has no choice but to buy it. Oh, it's starting to click. There's people that are paying attention. We're not trying to scare people. We're trying to inform them because bubbles happen. Yes, there's opportunities with bubbles, just like the DeFi bubble we saw in August. Tons of cryptos exploded. Just like we're seeing now with a lot of alts running. I just want people to be smart. I'm staying in the market. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of crypto for long-term holdings. I think I can't turn a blind eye to certain possibilities. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope, we go to the moon ASAP, but I just want to talk about this. All right. So one of the points I wanted to read is just right here. So Tether also says one Tether, one USDT token or coin, whatever you want to call it, is worth exactly $1 US. Can they do that? Well, they say they can because they hold $1 worth of assets for each Tether. So they claim it is 100% reserved and backed. But are those assets actual dollars? No, they are not. So what if the assets go down in value? Don't worry, they will not. Okay, but can we at least see the assets? No, you may not. Interesting. So why is this group unbelievably high valued, never been audited? Do you guys see how fishy this is and see how concerned I am? Now, of course, money talks. There could be some very powerful people behind it, but I just wanted to point this out. We'll see if YouTube even, shares this video around, because whenever I guarantee, guys, this is what I'm careful on. When I've noticed, whenever I say, I'm not going to say it out loud, but QE spelled out and the group behind that, my YouTube videos, the algorithm essentially kind of removes that and I get way less views. So that's just something I've learned. All right, right here, Arturo Portilla, guys, the latest proof of funds for Tether on their site dates back to June 1st. Get this, 2018, when there was only about 2.5 billion Tether in circulation. The attorneys assumed the information provided by the bank was correct without further inquiry. Are you kidding me? And keep in mind, this gentleman sharing this is a lawyer as well. All right, ridiculous. And then we have Barry Bullish. Great, just pointing out Tether circulating supply is 10 times the 2018 levels. This should end well. And as I point out in a lot of videos, guys, we can see the circulating supply. Look at that. Absolutely insane. And then the volume. We've been sharing that. that I'm telling you, wash trading exists. You've already seen all the case studies of not even wash trading. There's other tactics that artificially prop the market up. Please be aware of it. I know most people that are maybe watching this video, they don't even care. They just want, their ass at the pump. I get it, but please be aware of the mechanics behind this market. All right. Now, Martin Volk as well, I want to share this thread. I'm going to be brief, but it will be linked in the top of the video description. So with Tether, the 100% reserved and backing for US dollars, it's getting very, very muddy, just as all these other articles are discussing in great detail, and I encourage you guys to look at it. Tether was last checked in 2018. Why have they not been audited again when there's been more printing than ever before? I show you accounts with proof showing $400 million has just been minted by Tether out of thin air, just printed at will. And then that money goes into the market, and then all of a sudden Bitcoin goes up another $1,000. And people turn a blind eye to that. I cannot comprehend it. If I was an influencer in the Bitcoin space, I would feel a responsibility to, even if I wanted Bitcoin to go to 100 grand or $1 million, I would still say, hey guys, but please be aware of this risk, okay? Anyways, what I like that Martin says is, I actually called it this too, like even before this, and I was like, yeah, this is essentially just fractional reserve banking. And what I like that he says is this sounds a lot like fractional reserve banking, but since the dollars used to obtain Tether were already part of the fractional reserve banking, this is more like fractional reserve banking on top of fractional reserve banking. And again, fractional reserve banking, guys, for those that are new to the concept, is a system in which only a fraction of the bank deposits are backed by the actual cash on hand and available to withdraw. All right. So I encourage you guys, there's like 2-minute videos on fractional reserve banking, essentially the system that we have today. Just a complete joke. And when you understand that, money and value in crypto is in stocks and investing is nothing but a social construct, a mere agreement between society, and everything gets blurred, and then the opportunities really pop up. All right. Also, so Kraken Exchange, I know this is old news, but I just want to point it out. With the SEC filing against Ripple Labs, Kraken the exchange plans to halt XRP trading for US residents on January 29th. This is so fishy, as we heard Caitlin Long even making some commentary with their special charter that they could list anything, security tokens, whatever. We even had uphold.com, and I'm so happy for them sticking up for what's right, saying we will continue to list XRP until there's an actual specific decision. So they're not going anywhere. There's still plenty of other on-ramps, I have in my arsenal, but I just hate seeing this liquidity going. And it almost seems like it was orchestrated, or, somebody behind the scene, a higher power, stronger person just came back and was like, nope, you're not, because Kraken was supporting it. And now all of a sudden, a week later, they changed their tune. What's happening? Is it solely just to protect the US clients, or is there some manipulation involved? You guys tell me, just thinking out loud. All right. Clients in other countries are not affected. I just thought this was very, very strange. All right, and then to finish up here, guys, James Rule, so you can follow him at Rule XRP. So look at all the things you can buy with XRP, the digital asset. I know that this does circulate every once in a while. If you're new to the community, I'm sure you're going to like this. So just go to this website, and I did retweet it, and you can find it right here, Pay with Ripple or XRP. You can see the top companies accepting XRP. You can see, gateways. You can see merchants, a lot of things and different use cases. And this is just to show you like additional on-ramps. This isn't the reason why I buy XRP. I buy XRP because it's one of the best digital assets, most sound fundamentals, and not only is very scalable, and some assets may be more scalable, but it has network effects, 8 years going strong, and actual live customers. So I think the barrier to entry, it's really crossed that hardest point, and if it gets that next point, it's game on, the flywheel takes effect, and ideally, we go to the moon. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to share this video around, and please do your own research with Tether. It is not to scare you. It's just to talk about different options so that you are not surprised if anything does happen. Be safe, guys, and I will see you in the next video.